I'm sorry. I knew what it was and what it was for. And it was an AED. And they use it to jumpstart your heart. So that whole time that I was pushing my friend during that beginning, that song, I was pushing my friend, asking her what was wrong with her, and then slapping the shit out of her. Her heart had literally stopped, and she was dead. She had no pulse. She had no vitals. She was still warm, but her heart had stopped, so she was considered to be clinically dead. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching them, not sitting, I'm standing there and I'm watching them work on her. And I didn't realize that I was crying hysterically. So I couldn't stand there and watch it. So I walked out into the corridor and I called my mom. And I told her, I said, Mom, my friend is dead. My friend is dead. I didn't make any sense. I realized because she told me later, she was like, you were saying that your friend was dead. She's dead. We're at this concert and she's dead. I remember her telling me to calm down. It's going to be okay. She's like, tell me what happened. And I couldn't put a coherent sentence together because I was hysterical. So an EMT person, it was a medical person, people who were at the medical tent, they saw me, they knew who I was. They came and they took my hand. I remember this. They took my hand and they led me to the medical tent. And they said, they're working on her. And so I walked over there with them. They said, go and wash your face because you need to get it together. That's what she told me. So in the bathroom, I washed my face. I'm still crying, but I tried to keep it together. So as I walk out of the bathroom and I sit down in this room. It's considered the medical tent room, whatever. And I sit down, I can hear the wheels of the bed that they have her laying on. When they wheel her through, and this person was on top of her. They were straddling her and they were doing compressions on her chest. And they said, well, we got her heart started. Oh, this is hard to tell. Oh, it's been so long ago, but it makes me tear up. We got her heart started, but then it stopped again as he was doing compressions. There's somebody in front of me, and it's blurred. They're talking to me. I don't know what they're saying. Then they finally snapped it out of me. Do you want to ride in the ambulance? Let's go. We need to go. So I got up. They didn't put me in the back of the ambulance with her. I was in the front seat. We are driving to the nearest hospital. And while we're driving, I'm looking out the window. And just this thought came into my mind. And I thought, I'm gonna have to call my best friend's mother and tell her that her only child is dead. I mean, how do you tell somebody that? How do you tell a mother that? We get to the hospital. We get in there. They wheel her in. And they're still working on her. And I go into the ER. I'm like, my friend. They already know. I'm crying. Still crying. Anyways. So they shove this paper. Okay, they're like, okay, you need to sign these. Have you called her mother? Have you done this? Have you done that? And I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do. They shoved these papers. They said, we need you to sign these because we need to do surgery on her. And I'm signing this stuff. I can't remember anything. I barely remember her name. Barely remember where she was born, where she lives, how old she is. I was not together. I was not prepared for this. And I mean, who's ever prepared for something? But I filled stuff out blindly. I don't even remember what I wrote. I know that I just wrote stuff down and I signed my name. Or sign my name, put her name, sign my name, put her name, sign. I signed at least 20 different documents because I needed them quickly. I was the only one who was there. I had to give them permission to work on her, permission to, if something happens, what to do. How do you make decisions for somebody like that? How do you make those kinds of decisions? They're not your blood, even though she was like my blood. She was my best friend. I'd known her forever. But I'm not her mother. And how do you make those kinds of decisions, life or death decisions, without their family there? But in a situation like this, I had to. And I signed whatever they needed me to sign so that they could help her. So I did what I had to do. As far as letting her mother know, I ended up calling her, letting her know, or either I called her or somebody else called her, or I think maybe my mom called her. I can't remember. I do remember that I was sitting there in the emergency room, bawling my eyes out, and her mother came up to me. Her mother was so calm. So calm. She's like, hey. And we're talking. I gave her a hug, and then the doctors came out eventually. In a little while, they took us in the back, and my friend was on a heart monitor. She had all these wires on her. Had all these. She looked so pale. She had lost all color in her skin. It was literally like seeing a corpse on the table. Ooh. I'm never gonna get my nails done. Telling this story. And I'm gonna say I haven't told the story in its entirety as far as like how I felt and stuff like that in that moment in a really, really long time. And it's amazing how feelings hit you and experiences hit you, and how you tell it back to yourself, you experience all those emotions again. And I think it's crazy. Anyways, so they take us back there, and I see my friend, and the doctor starts asking me questions. And he's like, well, has your friend taken any hard drugs? Has she done anything she's not supposed to do? You know, and he's asking me all these questions, and I'm just like, she doesn't take drugs. And then I went, oh, I said, well, he's like, what? What is it? I said, well, I don't want to get her in trouble. I don't want to throw her under the bus. And he's basically like, listen, your friend is lying in the bed, dying. Has died several times because her heart stopped at least 3 or 4 times before we even got to the hospital. What do you know? And I said, well, she did smoke some marijuana the other day. And he looks at me like, and her mom looks at me like, I didn't know my daughter did drug, you know. La 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 la. Marijuana is not considered to be a hard drug. And so the doctor was like, oh, not drugs like that. And I was like, really, dude? So I just rented out my best friend to her mom for marijuana, and that's not what you needed to know. He goes, oh, that's not going to affect anything. I was like, bruh. I know you didn't just make me tell my best friend. Anyways, so then he asked me, well, could she have been pregnant? So her mom looks at me like, well, I'm like, I don't know. He goes, well, she don't ever tell me nothing. It was just this. So he asked me a few more questions, things maybe that I would know, maybe things that her mom would know. And so they're like, well, we'll keep you informed. Don't remember the drive home. I just remember being at the hospital. I don't even know how I even got back to the garage to get my car. I don't remember how I did that. The next memory that I remember is standing on my back porch, drinking coffee and crying. That's what I remember. And just praying to God that she wouldn't die. Or that she wouldn't die again, that she would survive, that she would really fight. And I really love my friend. They had to put her in a coma for 3 days. They had to lower her body temperature. I was at the hospital every single day for about 2 weeks. I would spend the night. I made sure I monitored who came in. When they gave her medicine, I'm like, what is that? What are you doing? What are you putting in her IV? And there were also many, many, many interviews because the news outlets picked it up and they wrote stories about how this fan died at this concert. Internally, I said, my friend, she's not gonna make it. She's not gonna make it. And then weeks passed, and she is alive today, and she is well. I thank God for that. I do. And I want to give you even more background about this story. So you remember that I told you in the beginning that we each had like our own like family issues and work issues. And so we weren't sure we were going to go to this concert. Last minute, we decided to go. I found out a few 3 or 4 days after this incident happened. I'm at the hospital. Doctor says to me, he says, thank God that you both went to this concert. And I'm thinking, what doctor says, oh, thank God that you went to this concert? And I was like,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
He tells me, and he says, if she had had this issue, if her heart had stopped anywhere but that venue, that concert hall, that arena, the hospital, or the airport, if she had not been at one of those 3 locations, so either the arena that we were at, or the concert was, a hospital, or an airport, she would have died. Period. Because if she was at home, her mother wouldn't have found her till the next morning. If she had been in her car, if she had been at a restaurant, she had been at some store or what have you, that she would have died. Some more news. That the arena that we were at for the concert, that I believe a week prior, they had somebody else to come perform, and a man had a heart attack. They didn't have any AEDs. He died. The night before this concert, they installed AEDs. They installed these AEDs in the venue the night before this concert. Another fact, we sat next to, there were 3 or 4 different doctors in that area who knew what to do, who were sitting near us at this concert. There were nurses. Oh gosh. There were people I so feel they were put there and who bought tickets. There were people who were placed there for a reason. We went to that concert for a reason. And if she hadn't been there, she would have died. Is that not crazy? Is that not insane? It's absolutely insane. But my friend now has a pacemaker. And she's alive and well. So, and the artist sent her flowers. I had pictures of that as well, but I can't find them. But it was a while ago. But yeah. That's the story of my friend dying at a concert. I'm so glad we went. Yet we did not get to see the show. But also, I thought one of the funniest things that happened, if you want to call the situation funny, when my friend woke up out of her coma, you know what the bitch said to me? Oh, did we miss the concert? Fuck yeah, we missed the concert. You fucking died on me. Yes. I bought those tickets. I want a refund. Bitch. Well, thank you for watching and listening. If you have, I would love it if you would subscribe. If you would like, comment. And if you want to hear more crazy, wild stories, then come back next time and see what story I have next. So until next time, bye.